Welcome back, guys and girls. If you've been watching, you'll know I've done a lot of the mechanical work. Pretty happy with that now. Now comes the pretty stuff. So just for a change, I started pulling the Subaru to pieces again. The paint was quite flaky, so in my mind, a down to the steel respray was in order. To remove the paint, instead of sanding, I'm stripping. I'm using Cooper's stripper. So strap yourselves in and let's go. I take the worst thing first, which is the spoiler. So much filling and sanding and filling ensued. The result was pretty encouraging. Then the bumper impact bar was okay-ish, but if you're going to do a good job, yeah, it'd be rude not to. Then the bonnet was stripped, undercoated, rubbed, and painted. Here's the result of the bonnet and the bonnet scoop. Then the guards were stripped back to the steel. I decided to remove both of them to paint. Okay, right, I have, you can tell what I've been doing. I just painted the guards for a second time, at least the top coat. The first time I got quite a few runs in it, rubbed it all back, looked really good, rubbed it back with 800, it was smooth, it looked beautiful. Spent hours and hours trying to get all plastic bags all around the place, get the garage nice and wet so there's no shit around the place. And I did a really, really good job of it. And I got even more runs this time, which I don't think is supposed to happen. I think it's supposed to get better as I go along. Yeah, so it's actually got more runs than the Indian cricket team at the moment. So yeah, I'm really pleased. It looks really glossy, and I'm really pissed off that it's gone. It's really stink. But shit happens, doesn't it? You know, I can't gain 30 years worth of experience in a couple of hours. It's just how it is. Or maybe I'm just really shit at it. Personally, I don't care, because I'm doing it and I'm going to be really proud of what I do, and what I've got done so far is really cool. And most of it is just frickin' hard work. It's not anything too mind-bending. It's just making everything as at the surface as good as possible, and then being able to do the gun work, which I suck at, obviously, or I've still got to get it sussed. The big problem was that I started off with a gun, I didn't know how to use it properly. I got a blockage in it once, and that kind of effed me up a bit. And it was also, I must have fiddled with it or something, and the pressure was really, really low. And when it's really, really low, it's just going doing all. And of course, it's not atomising the paint nice and finely. They're sort of coming out in big spits, you know, a bit like getting a mouthful of paint and going. But I couldn't work it out why it was doing that, and so because I had the paint all mixed, shit going on in the background. Don't worry, it's just my wife. No, it's not my wife. It's the TV. And so I had to put it on really wet, and it did a reasonably okay job, but it was still very orange peely. And then I had a really, really good look at it, which I should have done in the first place, and found out that there's actually a pressure valve, a pressure thing on the bottom, and it was turned right in. So I turned it back out, and it's like, I was like, wow, it atomises really well. But now it gets rid of paint really fast, and it makes lots of runs, because I've still got to get used to the speed and the all that shit. So there you go. Good times. Learning lots. Unfortunately, doing the same job over and over again, expecting a different result, is what they call tantamount to madness. Geez, I look good too, don't I? But shit happens, and I'm learning shit, and I don't care. So yeah, there it is. Right, I'm having a coffee with my beautiful wife, and life is good, even though the fucking gods are worse than they were when I started. Yeah. So here's what we have so far: guards, bonnet and skirts, which I didn't show. Now comes the roof. I really took my time with this, and I'm pretty pleased with the result. It seems I am learning. Then the doors and the boot were the last to be done. Here's a perfect world scenario of how well Coopers can work. This whole side was done under 2 hours. I was impressed. And now the passenger side is prepped and ready to paint. And I'm pretty pleased with the result. Kind of weird too, looks like a moth the size of Israel landed on it, frolicked around a bit and took off. And I made the deliberate mistake of not primering over the body filler, and it made some pinholes. Now that I've made that deliberate mistake, now I'll learn from it. I'm using 2K paint for the car rather than Dulon. There's pros and cons. Firstly, it's harder to apply, surprise surprise, but you use less of it and it's a really tough, durable paint. You get a good gloss straight from the gun, if you're good at it, that is. Right now, I wanted to get the driver's side doors done, and they came out pretty well, apart from their customary runs. Now I decided to unveil and have a look at the car as a whole. Overall, I'm pretty pleased. I've still got a lot of work to do though. Look guys, I've already taken up 7 minutes of your life. Hopefully you've been slightly entertained and had a bit of a giggle at my expense, and I'll let you. And we can reconvene in the next one. Thanks ever so much for watching. See you then.